let me go over a tweet that Charlie Kirk tweeted in April 2025 that's going around, making the rounds right now. I want to try to give it some perspective. Here's what he tweeted. It's going unnoticed because so much other news is happening, but the war drums are beating again in D.C. The warmongers worry this is their last chance to get the white whale they've been chasing for 30 years, an all-out regime change war against Iran. The new Middle East war would be catastrophic. Our military stockpiles are depleted from 3 years backing Ukraine. Our effort to reshore manufacturing has only just begun. It will take years to bear fruit. War would worsen our already immense deficit and national debt. Iran is larger than Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan combined. A war would not be easy and could easily become a calamity. Thanks to President Trump's restraint during his first term, America has a golden opportunity to pull away from the Middle East quagmires for good. We shouldn't throw that opportunity away, so some D.C. has-beens can feel tough by sending young men to die yet again. So everybody's tweeting this, going, well, look, Charlie Kirk knew, before his wife killed him. Yeah, Charlie Kirk, this Charlie Kirk did know. April 2025. Where was Charlie Kirk in April 2025? Most likely joined to the hip with Donald Trump. Okay? They were inseparable. And when Charlie disagreed, he called the White House and talked to President Trump about it. Okay? That's just the way it was. This wasn't written in a vacuum. He's not in his underpants at, Club Med. He's writing this. I can guarantee you this is part of the strategy with Donald Trump at the time. Okay? This is what's happening. Donald Trump is saying we cannot let the Lindsey Grahams of the world get us into another war. Okay? Will he use the Lindsey Grahams? Yeah, he'll use the Lindsey Grahams, but not for, what did he say? Regime change. An all-out war against Iran. Regime change. That's not what we're doing. We're doing containment. That is different. Whether it works, that's another story. But it is not regime change and not what we had in Iraq. And I got to tell you, Lindsey Graham and these, what did he call them? DC has-beens. That's exactly what they would have done. They would have gone in for another, they wouldn't have learned anything. They would have gone in exactly the same way. Donald Trump is trying to get us out of these Middle East quagmires for good. That's why he built what he built, that peace, that peace mechanism over in the Middle East. That's why you're seeing Saudi Arabia and Egypt and the UAE and everybody coming together and condemning Iran. They're not neutral this time. That's not happened before. That, again, is part of the strategy for this particular action with Iran. And it's very dangerous. Don't get me wrong. I'm not cheerleading. I'm not downplaying. I'm just telling you, let's have some perspective on it. It may not work, but that's what we're trying to do. Now, one of the things that's going to hit you on this is oil, gas prices. They've hit $102 a barrel. Brent crude is what? What is it now, Jason? Do you have a number? 104? I know it hit 110.
It just dropped back below 100, so it's at 99 right now.
Oh, okay, 99. It has spiked up to 119. This is not good. Our economy is built for under $120 a barrel. Anything over that, we begin to really start to hemorrhage things. You remember, I told you this in 2008. $120 a barrel, it hits this, it's going to be a problem. Well, we were at 120 plus. I think it hit 147 from April to August in 2008. So it has to be a sustained number. If we hit a sustained number over 120, 130 for 3-4 months, you're going to see massive problems with the United States. And everyone knows that. But fear comes first, okay? Now, why is this happening? Because the Straits of Hormuz are partially shut down. Most important 21-mile stretch in the world. Because that's where a lot of the oil comes from the UAE and Saudi Arabia and Iran. And so they're trying to shut this down. 20% of the world's oil supply comes through that every single day. Now, the tanker traffic has dropped dramatically, and Iran hit an oil tanker this weekend and set it on fire with a drone. Some Gulf production has halted or reduced. So we don't actually have a shortage. This is the thing that really pisses me off, these speculators. The market's not pricing oil right now. It's pricing risk. And what the speculators are doing is really clear. The oil market, the traders are paying huge premiums because they want the oil delivered right now. Future prices are lower, but right now it's about 30% higher. Okay? That's a pretty steep price. And so the traders are starting, I think it's such a good name for them, traders. The traders are saying there's going to be a physical shortage here soon. This is not going to go well. So the speculators are betting, and here are the bets that they're laying. Okay. Scenario A, Straits of Hormuz stays disrupted, and the price goes from where it is now to $120 to $150 a barrel. That would be catastrophic. Okay. Banks are already warning of this level of disruption. Scenario 2, partial naval reopening and prices stabilize between 90 and 110, and I think that's the most likely. Scenario 3, a full reopening, and that would bring prices down to about $70 to $85 a barrel. But why? Why? Not because we're getting more, because the risk premium disappears. Okay, this is the real problem. You don't want to go into Iran? Okay, fine. What is the risk premium you're willing to pay? Here's some of the things that happen. The real problem is the shipping insurance. Insurance companies have said, nope, too big of a risk. I'm not insuring all of that oil and that ship. So, nope, I'm out. And so that just leaves them in dock or out in the sea, and they can't move because they no longer have insurance. So don't move. Stay in place. And the insurance company, and this is the part media misses, the strait's not blocked just by missiles. It's blocked by the insurance markets. Okay, war risk insurance has gone up by 300%. That's about 1.5% value of the entire shipment. Okay. No insurance means you just can't sail. So even if the strait were open right now, because of the war, nobody's affording the insurance. So Donald Trump is looking at some like 1980s Ronald Reagan style solution here. He's saying we're going to escort the tankers with our Navy. The insurance risk will collapse overnight. And if not, then you know what? We'll back the insurance. Okay. Government will guarantee the shipping losses. I don't love that, but I like that better than high prices over here because we're going to pay for it one way or another. If Iran is neutralized, this is the big win. The scenario completely changes because the risk changes. Oil, the price of oil right now pays between $20 and $40 per barrel in risk alone because of that 21-mile stretch right there with Iran. So oil could be down to, I've heard, as low as $40 a barrel. If the United States would get back to a World War II position where we controlled the Straits of Hormuz, oil could be as low as $20 a barrel. You know what $20? You know what $40? You know what $60 a barrel does to Russia? Russia collapses. It collapses. That's what that means. So risk disappears, insurance drops, shipping cost falls, China loses their leverage, Russia probably collapses. I mean, it's a good scenario. We just have to make it through there. And you either trust that our Navy can control that 21-mile strait or not. Donald Trump is betting we can control that 21-mile strait. It's just going to take us some time, but we can control it. If we can control it, then all of this changes dramatically. And you're not looking at California prices for oil or gas. You're looking at prices we have maybe never seen in our lifetime, or at least since I was very, very young. But it's going to take time. But that's what's happening with oil.